Hey everybody, welcome back to Day One, Breakfast with Bob from beautiful Oceanside. My name is Bob Babbitt, brought to you by HOKA Master Spas, deboer wetsuits, Quintana Roo, and of course our Challenged Athletes Foundation. We're about to send out our 50,000th CAF grant, which I'm really excited about, along with $5 million to challenge athletes all over the world. Our next guest, only one of our favorite people on the planet. She is racing here in Oceanside for, what's it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least. This is like the sixth time, I think, something like that.
Well, that's
Paula
what you have
Findlay.
in your notes. Yeah.
Right there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I added them up myself.
Okay.
Is this number 6? Am I missing any?
No, I haven't counted, but I think that's probably right. Yeah, every single year except for 2020.
Right.
No, I did race in 2021 and I won.
What?
Because
it got. Am I not having it?
So this is my seventh.
Seventh time, and you won in 2021. I
well,
like it.
2021 was the year where it kept getting deferred because of COVID. So they did an October Oceanside. Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
Yeah, so that year I won, and that was like the end of my season that year. So
right.
Yeah.
So so we're talking sixth time here, seventh time here. Wow.
Seventh time.
We're doing math.
Wow.
What the hell?
That's a
I
lot.
like it. What is it about this course? Or there's probably a time of year, the course.
I mean, honestly, probably like each time I've done this, I'm like, I'm never doing this race again. It's so hard.
It is so hard, right?
Well, it's just the timing of year. It's like a shock to the system. You're coming out after a winter of hibernating in winter in the snow. And so I love the race. I love being in Oceanside. I love the vibe of this whole place.
Yes.
But the race itself is so hard. The roads are rough. It's hilly. It's windy. It's cold. It's relentless. But it really is a good, like,
it's a test.
Wake up, shock to the system. Yeah, like I usually come here, don't have a great race, and then 6 weeks later in St. George, I have a really good race. So it kind of just, kicks it
not
off.
Have a good race. You said you won one, but you got third, fifth, sixth, fourth, sixth. You're always up there.
Yeah.
So the big question for me is this an Ironman year? Like a full? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm waffling a lot on my yearly plans, but I'm kind of taking it one race at a time at the moment. And yeah, I've put it out there that I want to do a full, and
yes,
it makes me nervous to think about that. And I really like going fast and racing this distance.
Right.
So it's definitely in my future. Not 100% sure when, but yeah, we'll see.
Well, I mean, being in sport for as long as you have, Kona has to be an allure, right? That sometime you want to do that silly race, and it's this year in Kona, and then you got to wait 2 years to do it again.
Potentially, yeah. But the schedule is not set after this year. Is
No,
it?
I don't think it's set. But
yeah, I do. It's never been like, oh, I have to go to Kona.
No.
That's never been a huge motivator for me in my career. But as I get older and think about retiring in the next 5 years or so, it's for sure a race that I might regret not doing. So, but even if I did race an Ironman this year, I don't know if it would be with the goal of going to Kona. I really still have like big ambitions in the 70.3 distance and 70.3 World Championships. That's kind of my biggest goal of the year.
Right.
So I don't want Ironman to be like a distraction from that focus while I'm still fast and excited about that distance. So
that's the tough part, because you got to build to it, and then you got to recover from it, and you really can't do a lot of other racing while that's going on.
Yeah, I've never done it. So
right.
Yeah, it's such an unknown. And I think talking to a lot of my really good friends, Lindsay Corbin, Heather Jackson, Ironman champions, some of the best to ever do it, they do say that it takes a lot out of you, and it takes a long time to recover from and bounce back. And yes, there's athletes like Kat who can bounce back really quick, but I don't know how I would respond to it. So it is a very big unknown, which is also what makes it exciting to think about.
So the goal this year is 70.3 Worlds.
That's my biggest focus in terms of race that I want to really perform well at. Like I was second there in 2022, and I feel like I forget that sometimes, that I was on the podium at that race at a world championship, and I want to do that again. And I think I still have the ability to. So
there's no question you have the ability to. So, but this last year, 6th at 70.3 Worlds, 6th at Lake Las Vegas. So you're sort of mixing a little the T100, 70.3. Will that be sort of the same this year?
Yeah, I'll still do a T100, probably just 5 of them, but
okay.
Yeah, 2 of them are really easy to get to from
Vancouver, right?
San Francisco.
Yes.
Just like super easy travel. And I think that's what got to me at the end of last year, was just the huge amount of overseas travel that I did and just the way that the season panned out. But anytime I can race within like one flight of home or even a drive, I love it. So that's what Oceanside is like. We drove the van down here.
So when you look at your career in the rearview mirror a little bit in terms of best races you've ever had, what do you look back at as maybe the best, most important things that
in my
really
whole career?
Yes.
Oh, geez.
I know.
Like my best ones ever, I would say.
In your opinion, yes.
When I was racing short course and on this
when you were
streak
dominant, when you're winning everything.
Yeah, and I was young at the time, and I was on this roll, and so young that I almost didn't appreciate it at the time, and it was almost like expected of myself. I had a really good kick at the end of these races where I could beat almost anyone, and those were for sure the highlights of my career.
Right.
Had a little bit of a resurgence with winning Challenge Daytona in 2020, and
that was
gave
huge.
me some confidence that I'm good at this middle distance thing, and so I've had good races since then too. But I don't know, I'd say overall I'm just consistent.
Well, and really the main deal is just being healthy, right? You had a lot of stretches where you weren't.
Totally,
and being healthy and happy, which it seems like the two things that you've been for the last number of years.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, happiness is funny because social media is so big now where Eric and I share so much and we try to be really real about it and show the highs and the lows, but I'm definitely not happy 100% of the time. I'm glad it comes across that way. But yeah, there's like the back half of the year last year was tough and I was not happy for every single race, but I still managed to race fine.
I was going to say, I mean, okay, T100 Dubai 11th, but everything else, you're still,
still top 10, yeah.
Right. And this era of when I look at the dollars out there for T100, I look at the dollars out there for Ironman World Pro Series, or people are $200,000. There's more. Seems like there's more dollars. There's more credibility for the athletes than ever before.
Yeah, and it's a awesome time to be a professional triathlete and to be performing well. There's so many earning opportunities, and it's hard to decide what to do, what series to do, what races to do because of all of the options.
Yes.
I'm trying to not let the financials cloud what I truly want to do, because I think I definitely race best when I'm at a race that I'm excited about, that I can get ready for properly, that I want to be at, like Oceanside, St. George, Vancouver T100, like things that really excite me. So to make decisions based on where's the most money or how am I going to, get the most dollars is not always the best outcome. So, Eric and I are fortunate that we have amazing partners that we've had for a long time. Mm-hmm. So we don't necessarily have to race 15 times a year to make money. It's more just going and getting as best prepared as I can for the races I want to do. So
well, and also with TTL, with that triathlon life, you have other motivation. Right, because you're not just going there and racing and winning prize money is great, but there's other things that come along with that because you've got a following, you've also got athletes you're supporting. Yeah,
TTL's taken off. It's been great, and also at Oceanside this year, Eric and our friend Nick Goldston are releasing their film that they've been working on for a whole year. They're doing a premiere tomorrow evening,
right?
In Oceanside at a theater
right here.
Yeah, it's really crazy to see what they've put together. And to be honest, I was skeptical all year that they could pull this off. It's like a 45-minute full-length film. It's absolutely beautiful. It has Nick made all of the music for the whole film.
Really?
And yeah, it's been nonstop for a year working on this thing. So it's so exciting to see it all come together, and a big part of the reason why I actually wanted to come race here, because it's a really important weekend for them as well. So.
And I know last year you guys supported a number of athletes, a number of age group athletes. And this year,
not age group pros.
These are young pros.
Young pros, yeah.
Young pros, exactly.
So we do have one of our TTL Devo athletes here racing as well. Lydia Russell is doing her first 70.3.
Right.
And yeah, it's a great team. Again, we have fun with the whole program.
How many athletes?
6.
6 athletes. Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, we had 2 carryover from last year, but and 4 new athletes. So yeah, it's fun.
That is really cool when you get to see and just to watch their growth and just watch how they over that year, just how they change.
For sure,
it's gotta be fun.
I think the most fun for me is just feeling like a mentor, and I can give them advice and they can text me anytime. And,
right.
That's what makes it fun for me. And there's a little bit of money and gear and stuff that we give them. But yeah, most of all, I think it's giving them this community and access to Eric and I, who went through all of the things they're going through. And so, yeah, we love it.
And you're able to showcase their journeys a little bit.
Yeah, that's our hope, is that through our platform that we've built, we can kind of leverage what they're doing and then send them off with a little bit more following. I mean, that's what triathlon is like these days. It's like you want to build your own story and create a platform where people want to follow you and take interest in your journey. So that's kind of what we offer them.
Has the creation of TTL, has that been something sort of invigorated you in terms of, do you think you'd still be racing if it wasn't for TTL?
I think I would. I don't think I'd be racing if it weren't for Eric. Eric is like, him and I doing it together is the most meaningful thing for me and gotten me through rough patches, of course. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to imagine because we never started TTL with the intention of it becoming what it has become necessarily.
Right.
It kind of started with the YouTube channel, and then we started making clothing, and that it kind of took off and became a community. So yeah, it has so many outlets and so many possibilities of what it could become. So it almost makes it exciting for the future, where like I can't race forever, but we hope that TTL can live on.
You can race forever.
Yeah, maybe I could race forever. I could do triathlon until I'm 80.
See, I'm almost
I don't
there.
want to do that though. No way. No way.
Come on. We have our 70 to death category. You'd be good. You'd like come and race.
Yeah,
with
and
us.
actually in Taupo, it was really cool to be there for the awards because they do the pros last at the awards.
I know.
But we sit through happily all of the age groups, and it is so cool to see the oldest age group categories coming up there and getting their
85,
trophies.
89 guys.
Yeah.
There was a
It
Sheree
is so
Grunfeld
inspiring.
is 80, and she was like one of there was more after her.
Totally, yeah, it's so crazy. And they're all like fit and excited and love it. And I mean, that's what we love about TTL. It's like you're in it because you want to be there, and it's a lifestyle, and you're in it for your whole life if you want to be.
Have you met folks through TTL who were just fans who've almost become part of the family now?
Oh man, I don't know. In terms of like,
Just become like close friends who you didn't know them, they didn't know you, they started following you and become more than
Nick,
fans.
Nick, our
Was
friend
Nick a fan?
No, sort of. He watched our videos and then he reached out to Eric about making music for our vlog, like back in the day, like COVID days. So ultimately, yeah, that's how he got to know us. Yeah, but we have our podcast and people write in every week, and it is fun to kind of learn names and put faces to names when we see people at events like this. Like a lot of TTL is online. It's like podcasts. We're talking to a mic into our computers and then thousands of people listening to it every week, but we don't see them face to face. So coming to Oceanside and doing the film premiere tomorrow and all of these things that are in real life, I think it hits home a little more like what it's become because, even seeing people wearing our gear that are total strangers.
It's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So the film itself, tell me, what is it following you guys throughout this year?
No, in fact, I am not even in it for 1 millisecond.
What?
I know.
Wait. Eric, I'm going to do a movie and follow this whole year, and you really didn't make the cut. You're on the floor.
I think Eric was really careful about, like, I have a lot of, not stress, but I'm trying to win these big races, and he has this passion and this vision of, has always had this of making like a feature length film.
Yeah.
So he kind of separated the two. He didn't want to ask me to do anything.
Right.
So that I could focus on what I need to do in racing and training.
And
now that I've seen the whole thing, I'm like, I kind of wish I was in it a little bit. But it's fine. It basically follows, it's like 4 scenes.
Okay.
And it'll come out on YouTube a week after tomorrow. So everyone can watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I highly recommend, if you're going to do this, watch it on a big screen. Don't watch it on your phone.
No.
Watch it on a screen with like speakers.
With good sound.
Yeah, because Nick did all the music. It's really cool. But it's about like getting out there and using all this fitness that you accumulate through years and years of training, like Eric has, to go and explore and do things that you couldn't do if you hadn't sort of built that.
Fitness.
Yeah, or like doing things that are so cool to yourself and that you want to do and that motivate you, and no one else might even care about it or know that you did it.
Right.
You know, it's so different than this triathlon external validation that you get from like completing an Ironman, which is amazing, or winning an Ironman or whatever it is. But there's also this other side of it where, I just want to get to the top of that mountain, or I want to swim into this gully in the middle of nowhere. And that's what the film is about, is just kind of inspiring people to get on and explore and do things that your body can do because you have this like lifetime of
that's really
training
cool.
behind it. I don't know. It's really hard for me to articulate. Eric could do it better.
I saw when we were over in New Zealand. I think we saw you the morning. You guys were going to go, and Eric was going to go run up the mountain or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That's probably in there.
That type of thing. Yeah, there's 4 scenes. One's in Ventura, one's in Colorado,
Okay.
one's in Arizona, and one's in Nemo Bay, Canada, which is way up north, Vancouver Island. They went with Simon Whitfield, actually.
Oh, did he do some stand-up with Simon?
Well, Simon took them there to this little remote place, and they go on this like belly boat where it lands on its belly.
What?
And take a boat and go swimming with the orcas. It's like really crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's very fun.
But you know what's cool about that is you build up this fitness of swim, bike, run, weights, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. You don't just need to do it for triathlon. You use it for life.
Yeah, totally.
To do stuff, because it's sort of like when someone's a big wave surfer, or somebody's a surfer, you can't get out to the big waves unless you have real level of a different level of fitness.
Yeah, yeah.
And so for him to do these radical type of adventures,
yes,
you need a level of fitness that goes beyond. That's very cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And actually, now that we were watching back, Eric doesn't swim nearly as much as he used to.
Right.
But he watches the film and he's like, oh my gosh, I was so good at swimming when we filmed this. Like it inspired him to get back to the pool. So yeah, it's really neat. I actually haven't even seen the full thing yet because they're not even finished, even though it's coming out tomorrow.
Right. Yeah.
But that's how these things go, I guess.
Well, and the theater is right like a couple blocks away.
Yeah, Eric's riding over there right now to test out the screen, because like putting something on a big screen, it's different than watching it on a home television.
Yes.
With the lighting and all that stuff.
Yeah. No, actually, when I was in touch with those guys looking for a theater.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It was like there was one over here and one over there, and I was like, okay, this one's sort of older and classier, and one of them, they had, we've got a band playing at like 6 o'clock.
Oh, so
did you know about that?
No.
They have a farmer's market, but they have a band that plays at 6.
Okay.
That's against the back wall of the theater.
Else that wouldn't have worked.
So So it was like, okay, we need to do the film a little earlier.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, I hijacked this interview and made it about the film, but it is really cool.
That's what I sort of.
You don't need to hear about my race results again. We'll talking about this is cooler.
Well, and it's funny too because we're actually working on a documentary on Ironman that with Graham Fraser.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and his son is filming it.
Mm-hmm.
His son Luke is filming it.
Yeah,
it's probably come out a year from now, sort of the 1980 to 89 era of Ironman. So
that's cool.
We were in Boulder,
yeah,
and they set up this interview they rented a diner and had Dave Scott sitting across from Mark Allen and just talking about their careers and their.
Yeah, I think it's really cool when you get footage from back in the day, because we're so used to watching modern day, the Lionel Sanders, everything fresh and new. But when you can go back and see how long triathlon has existed and see film from back in the 80s and stuff, it's really cool. Yeah.
Well, and I've got all this classic. My partner Lois Schwartz was, shot throughout the 80s, and I've got all of her images.
So you have the footage.
I've got all the. Well, these are photos, but
but even that's cool.
It's the coolest stuff in the world because there's something about a photo that freezes a moment.
Yes.
And you see those guys, Dave and Mark side by side, or Paula and Aaron, and some of those.
And it probably wasn't digital back then, was it?
Oh no, digital. So I've got a loop. I've got a light table, I've got a slide, and I've got like cabinets of slides.
That's cool.
And every once in a while I come out and go, I need to scan these, but where do you start? There's thousands.
There's so many,
thousands.
Blow up some big ones.
Yeah. So how many folks from when you were going to the Olympics are still racing? Your contemporaries?
Oh, man. I don't know.
Wow. Yeah,
but
because
in this race.
Well, just like still competitive, because I think in 2012 Olympics, with Daniela Reef, I think was racing. Maybe Annie Hogg was racing.
Yeah, Annie's still racing now.
Yeah. People are still
even Ashley Gentle, I raced her a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if she was in the Olympics in 2012, but.
Yeah, but
when you say things like that, though, I'm like, damn, I better retire.
No way. But you know what?
It actually is insane how quick it came up on me that wow, I'm like
you're
one
a
of
veteran.
the oldest people now. Yeah, I've done Oceanside 8 times. What the hell? That came out of nowhere.
Right.
It feels like yesterday that I was doing this for the first time. So the years really fly by.
They go so quickly because you think about it when Patrick Lange was here earlier. He's 38 years old and he's faster than ever. right?
Yeah, that's why I'm having a hard time retiring, because I am still racing well.
There's no reason. There's no reason why you can't be racing into your 40s. If you feel like it. If you feel like it. It's your own choice. Now it's not where it used to be. You got to 38, 39 years old, and it's like, you better hang it up. Now, Patrick's doing different type of training than he's ever done before.
Yeah.
And it's obviously paying off.
For sure. And with like modern day, like nutrition and all the recovery stuff,
yes,
I think you can stay healthier as an older athlete.
How have you had to change? How have you had to adapt to like training? And like a lot of times people say, okay, I can do the same type of workouts, but I've got to give myself more recovery time.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing of getting a little bit older is the recovery. And I used to bounce back from hard sessions and be fine the next day, whereas now some days I'll wake up and like, if I need 6 hours.
Who hit me with a baseball bat?
Yeah, exactly. It's noticeable. So just that comes down to like eating a little bit better and more intentionally, and fueling better during sessions, and things that are no secret, It's what we should all be doing anyway, but they become increasingly important as I've gotten older and a little more sore. But at the same time, I haven't been injured in 2 or 3 years. So I think also like the running shoe advancement in technology is big. Yeah, since I started running with On, this is not a plug for On, but I haven't had an injury. So it's like the technology of the shoes these days is just better for my feet, and I can run. I mostly run on soft surfaces, but I can run on concrete and not be scared that I'm going to get a stress fracture or something.
Well, it's concrete, right?
Oceanside especially.
This one is
like
especially
in
tough on you.
2018, I was wearing like a racing flat, like it was like a sock basically.
Right.
And then I'd come out of Oceanside running on concrete and be sore for 2 weeks.
Right.
But now with carbon shoes with the foam, like I could do it 2 times, I'd be fine.
Well, and that's what people talk about, is that the recovery part of it. You can put tough workouts on top of each other because of the recovery.
Shoes. And the recovery. Yeah, totally.
So after Oceanside, St. George, and then obviously T100, Vancouver is in there, Alcatraz.
Yeah, that's as far as I've gotten.
That's just plenty, right? You can plan 4 races at a time and then figure out what the hell else you want to do. There's no rush. It's a long season.
Yeah, for sure.
And training in Bend, having real seasons is sometimes really good, because it sort of forces you to back off a little bit.
It is, yeah. At the same time, it does make it tough to be completely fit for like this, for example. But yeah, I love the winter. We actually did go to Tucson for a month to get some outdoor riding, because your mental capacity for riding the trainer can just, tap out. But I don't mind Zwift. I could ride it for months and months. But it is nice to get outside and just like learn how to ride your bike again on the road. And so we did that in Tucson. But yeah, Bend is great in terms of having a winter, but it's not so harsh that you can't get outside at all. It's like some days are nice and you can ride your gravel bike. Some days are cold. So yeah, I love that. But it's about to get into springtime where it's like consistently good. So
love it.
Yeah.
Paula, it's always such a treat to chat with you. And the movie's tomorrow. What time is people can
it's sold out.
Is it sold out? I love it.
There's a couple tickets actually at the Castelli booth tomorrow.
Oh, I like it.
So I don't know how many, not many, but the online tickets sold out, which is great for Nick and Eric. And if you can't make it tomorrow or don't have a ticket, it'll be on YouTube in a week. So.
In a week? People can wait a week. No biggie.
Can wait a week. And I think Nick's going to like tinker with it all week and make it even better next week. So, yeah.
Thank you for taking time and joining us, Paula. Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Yeah, nice to be here.
Paula Findlay has been our guest. That is a wrap for day 1, Breakfast with Bob from Oceanside. We will check you all out tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us. See ya.